Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of July 27th, 2020. Every week we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
This week we are complaining about groceries and obsessing about whether conformity is important. We're also taking a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today, we're talking about activities we share with our kids that are bonding. That would be a lot easier for me to answer when they were little than it is now, when maybe they don't so much want the bonding. But Nicole, you had something for this, right? What are you doing with your daughter that's bonding?
Well, like you said, it was easier, obviously, to think of things to do when they were younger. And of course, as they've grown older, our activities and duration and frequency of activities have changed. Mm-hmm. But I still feel the need to set aside some time to at least have a conversation or do something,
right?
Just, with one child or the other, just the two of us.
Yeah.
So anyway, recently my daughter and I have decided to exercise together. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you'll know that, working out to a video is not my cup of tea, but I figured that, while we're here at home, we'll, make the most of it. And my daughter, who has preferred to stay in her room for the most part during this pandemic, is a little more motivated to leave the room if I offer up something that is beneficial to her. So we've just started, doing 10-minute YouTube videos and exercise away. And then, so it's becoming our daily routine, and it's kind of fun because we can just I don't have to stress about, what she's doing or what she's not doing, or, is she doing her laundry? Is she cleaning her room? Is she helping around the house? It's just like that, little break of not having to keep track of what's going on with her. So not that I have to all the time, but when she does need a little motivating to
right
keep her life together. So yeah. And then I was thinking about that with my son, like because he's older, he's a young, he's 24. So
right.
I was thinking, what have we done over the years? And one of the ways that we bond is through music. We both enjoy the same types of music and listening to music, and conversations, just having me popping into his room for a couple of minutes every day and sitting with him and having a conversation. So it's kind of, or going for a walk. Sometimes we'll go for a quick walk around the block, or, that's kind of what I was, cause like you said, it's easy when they're younger, but as they get older, it changes, right?
Right. It does.
So it changes as to what they want, and yeah. And then of course you don't want to impose yourself too much, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to have these little chunks of, these little moments where it's just you and your child. So I don't know. How about you guys? Do you have any particular things that you do with your kids? Might be a routine or something that you use time to connect with?
We're actively working on it. I mean, I do feel it's important for bonding, and, it used to be, when they were little, our big bonding thing would be everybody would pile on my bed and we would watch TV. We would watch their kids' shows. And I really liked that. And it was like the only time my kids would, sort of consent to be hugged or held, or because they would be distracted by the TV. So we could do some real bonding work with that. But now they all watch their own things. My son is in his room watching YouTube videos. My daughter watches YouTube videos. I don't really watch that much TV because I'm working so much. So we've sort of lost that. But it's interesting that, we've always had the thing where we go to mass every Sunday, regardless, that's just something we do as a family, and, it's non-negotiable. But it's always been sort of a source of stress a little bit in terms of my son's behavior and having to sit there. Now that we're going to mass on TV, sitting on our couch, watching our priest on YouTube, we do get some of that physical bonding again. We all sit on the couch together, and so we're all sort of up against each other. And, my son will let me put my arm around him in a way that he doesn't in other contexts. So that's sort of been a recreation of our old sitting on the bed watching children's shows, is sitting on the couch watching Mass together. So that's been sort of an unexpected thing that sadly will not last, I imagine. But while it's lasting, it has all sorts of significance to our family, both spiritual and bonding-wise. We've also tried to start doing a family game night again. We did it for a while, and then it just sort of lapsed. So now with all this pandemic togetherness, we decided we were going to start it. And I said, if I have to work, you three go play. If I can, I'll play with you. So we do it every night. Sometimes there are, less than positive feelings regarding it. And it's usually at a time when my daughter is sleepy anyway. So there's a certain amount of crabbiness going on if, people don't play just exactly the way other people feel they should play. It's not necessarily our best foot forward every night, but we do it. And I guess that's a bonding thing.
Yeah.
It's not all bonding is positive. And, but I think that we're experiencing it as a bonding. And also we do take a lot of walks, except that when we go out for a walk when I go out for a walk with my husband and my son walks as far ahead of us as we will allow him to. It's like, I'm not with them. It's like, well, 6 feet distancing is okay, but if I can't see you anymore, we're no longer taking a walk together. So sometimes he does walk with us, and he holds my hand and we walk together, and that's really nice. But other times it's like, could I walk the opposite direction from you so that I don't have to see you through the entire walk? So I don't know how bonding that is, but that's pretty much the state of bonding in my household. I would like lecturing to be considered a bonding experience, but my children do not so much accept
Good luck with that.
as that. Yeah. Yeah, my daughter used to like me running my hands through her hair, and that would be sort of a really peaceful bonding thing. And now she says, nope, don't like it, don't want it. But I have found that if my son, as I mentioned last week, is growing in facial hair, so he has a pretty good mustache going. He's got the soul patch thing pretty heavily coming in, and then he's got just lots of random hair on his cheeks. And I found that if I sort of like rub my finger along the hair, he like zones out. So that's a very comforting thing to him. So that may become a bonding thing. I may just walk up to him randomly and, stroke his facial hair for a while. Until he goes, Mom, stop that.
Whatever works, right?
That's right. I will take whatever works. If you give me, open the door a crack, I will barge through it.
You'll find your way in.
I will. So how about you, Catherine? What's the bonding situation at your house?
Well, with my daughter, my older one, she's busy right now, but especially when we were more locked down, but even still today, we watched TV together. Like we went all the way through Project Runway and Top Chef and a couple seasons of The Amazing Race. So we've been doing that. And, it used to be with her just like taking her places and being in the car with her and traveling on all of her trips with her.
Right.
So, I'm kind of looking forward to the college drop off, just being that one last little family trip, even though it's gonna end with her being gone. And with my son, we both like show tunes. We both like musicals. And so we listen to that when we're in the car together. We often will listen to that. And we, again, when it's not a pandemic, we have season tickets to our theater in a neighboring town that gets the Broadway shows. And, we have 2 tickets, and it was really meant to be for me and my husband, but most of the time it's my son and I that go, and that's fun. And also like other concerts and performances and things. He has a friend who has like a family band with his brothers, and we're friends with the whole family. We're we're close to them. So we are like their groupies. We go to all of their like public performances, and they've had a couple outdoor things that we've been able to do, you know, during this time. So that's always fun. So,
Yeah.
like, you know, tonight our city does concerts in the summer, and they've found a way to do them, you know, outdoors and with marks on the grass for where you can be. So I think we'll probably go to that tonight. So
Fun.
I can usually count on him to be my sidekick for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we've tried the game night, and you know, sometimes it works and sometimes
Right.
it doesn't.
Yeah. I had forgotten about the time in the car. That was always a bonding time with my son.
Me too.
We would be able to have conversations, which, you know, it takes some of the stress out of the conversation, I think, when you're in the car and you're sort of forced togetherness. And now we're, you know, he's not doing that job, so we're not having that half-hour drive 2 or 3 days a week. So that's too bad. I miss that.
Yeah. I mean, when my daughter first started skating for her team, you know, this was obviously a long time ago, and it was like a 45-minute drive to get to 45 minutes to get to her practice. And she was 8, and people were like, why are you doing this? But we actually had a good time with it, you know? I mean, we would listen to audiobooks in the car, and then we'd, after practice, go to Starbucks and sit and chat and do homework and just kind of hang out. And it was really nice.
Yeah. I forgot about that too. Those trips back and forth. And I remember so vividly just, you know, at the time thinking, oh, this is such a drag. But
Right.
I know at the same time,
Right.
I'm going to miss this in a couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. So things change. We adapt, right? Whether it's kids growing or pandemics or whatever else. So that'll be it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment themed round 2, and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.